Hello there everyone, I am Love, Love and Hugs, and here on my channel, I like to talk about YouTubers, and today will be no different. So, gather around boys and girls and have your fingers already over that dislike button, and allow me to tell you the story of Markiplier, a very emotional young man who loves his subscribers so very much. Now, typically, this would be a reason for me to ridicule him to my heart's content, but I only do that for people who are arseholes. And Markiplier seems like a genuinely nice man. In fact, one might question why he isn't an arsehole, especially if you were to compare him to other YouTubers of his size and tenure. You would think that he would have been driven insane by now. But no, he seems to have somehow kept his sanity and stayed being the nice guy that his subscribers know him for. And I'm assuming that this is because he's able to make such soft, mushy videos and vent his emotions and not bottle them up, which for him seems to have been producing great therapeutic effects on his mental stability. You see, as a man, whether it's life or constant teasing in school or the social constructs of your upbringing, typically men are taught to hold in and bottle up their emotions. But Markiplier either didn't get that message throughout his life, or he's been actively fighting against it by exposing himself with these emotional videos. And speaking of emotionally exposing, who else in our society is it socially acceptable for them to show such emotional outbursts? There we are. Well, the answer is women and children. And who are Markiplier's main audience? Young females and children. For Markiplier, they have become his circle of life. The problem here is that for Mr. Markiplier, that he understands his responsibilities to such an accurate degree, or overestimates his responsibilities to such a ludicrous degree, that everything becomes blown out of proportion. And add to that the knowledge that his words and actions have a strong chance of affecting his fan base, a very large fan base, mind you, seems to speak to the man's sense of morality. Which is amazing to actually find out that a YouTuber of his size actually still has. The problem here is that he's overly sensitive to it. If some serial killer were to write his last words being Markiplier, then that would probably haunt this man for the rest of his life. Whereas to say if a serial killer were to write love, love, and hugs as his dying statement, I'd probably be so disconnected that I couldn't be able to relate it to myself until the dead bodies started showing up on my doorstep. Markiplier, on the other hand, is a man that needs to realize that he can't change the world. And no, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't try, because affecting one person's life in a positive manner is still better than affecting none. But there are things in this world that can't be changed no matter how much effort is thrown into it. Problem is, Markiplier is a very driven and very talented man. And while that might make for a great TV movie, its translation over to real life can be quite the opposite, leading to long nights of no sleep and having more conversations inside your own head than out of it. So, let me ask you a question. To the people who somehow managed to find this video, what happens when you're good at everything, but never really excel at anything? When there's always so much that you can do, but you know you can never achieve it. Even the smartest people in the world can't do everything, can't accomplish everything, and very few of them will ever achieve more in their life than anyone else. And that's a nice bit of information. You want to know one of Markiplier's biggest regrets in his life? More than likely, it is that he won't live long enough to experience the human race become a proper space-exploring civilization in his lifetime. Left to experience the cosmos in works of fiction alone, and not through his own eyes. So to Markiplier I say, you are a romantic, destined to look up at the stars and dream of what could be, to always reach for the future but never be able to grasp it, your fondest dreams and desires to be passed on to your children. To compensate, you care too much. You love too much. And I can respect that. My channel is named Love, Love, and Hugs after all. But because of your insatiability, you will never simply be satisfied. To go on forever chasing your dreams and never be allowed to hold him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Markiplier, the hopeless, lovable romantic. Be sure to tune in next week with those dislikes as I present to you the story of Philip DeFranco. I'm sure that's going to go over well.